this episode of Dynamite was pretty sick, honestly, because I'm looking to one segment in particular, and that is when MJF came out, okay, and he had his promo. And we talked a little bit about this like the other day, but I'm going to talk about it again because MJF, he comes out to the ring, and this is after last week where CM Punk had the little photo of them two at an autograph signing back when MJF was like a little kid, right?
How old is he when he met CM Punk?
I think he was like maybe like a preteen or something like that, like maybe not even, like maybe like 10 or something. But basically Punk like pulls out the photo and was like, MJF, this was like the biggest day of your life, and for me it was just a Friday. Right? Which is like, damn, okay.
Dang, that's such a good line.
And then basically MJF was there at ringside when Punk said that, and he didn't say anything. MJF just like sort of turned around, like sad and left. I was like, oh my God, poor MJF.
Aww.
And so this week MJF comes out and he's just by himself in the ring. And he's like, Punk, last week you had a photo. You had a photo of me at a meet and greet with you back when I was 10 years old. And you said for you, that was just any other Friday. And for me, it was the biggest day of my life, and you were right. It was the biggest day of my life, okay? Because when I was a little kid, when I was in high school, I didn't fit in. I didn't have many friends. My life isn't as easy as everyone thinks it was for me. I have so many learning disabilities. I have ADHD. Making friends was hard for me. I couldn't focus in school.
Who is the heel here?
I know, right?
Wait, is Punk supposed to be like the good guy in this situation?
Well, like,
He's just an asshole.
Well, I am so confused, like, because normally MJF does this kind of stuff where he like starts being vulnerable and like he tricks the crowd and is like, actually, fuck you guys, that's a lie. I'm cool. You suck. And so
I think my favorite MJF line's like, video games, video games, video games, you fucking virgin.
But basically, MJF is listing off all this stuff, and I'm a little confused. I'm like, clearly this is a bait and switch. Clearly he's gonna be like, haha, you guys are losers. But he's like, and like my life sucked. But in high school, I was one of like, what, 2 Jewish kids to try out for the football team. And like the crowd was like, woo! It was like, yeah, we got some Jews in the house. And the crowd went crazy.
The Jewish community.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Jewish community. And he ends up talking about like, and I made the football team, and I loved football. I became linebacker, and I was excited. And that next day at school, that Friday, I was pumped because it was my first day on the team, and my teammates were coming up to me, and I again, like, I thought I was gonna be able to make friends, and I was so excited about that. But all my teammates, they had these like rolls of quarters in their hands, and what they decided to do was to take those quarters and throw them at me as hard as they possibly could. And then they said, pick them up, Jew boy. And then the crowds like popped when he said that a little bit. Not like a big pop, but like you could hear people cheering. I was like, what? Guys,
wait, they cheered for him like coming out, or cheered for him like getting hit by quarters?
Cheered for him getting hit by quarters and being called that.
Who's the heel here?
Exactly, but the audience is sort of, I think, on the same wavelength I was a little bit ago, where it's like clearly MJF is gonna like do a bait and switch, but at this point I'm like, no, he can't do that. That's a slur, right? Like he
just said a slur.
He's like recounting a traumatic experience, and then he basically is like, he's like, but you know what? That was school, and I was fine. Okay, I was able to get over it because I knew later that day I was going to meet my hero. I was going to meet my favorite professional wrestler. I was going to meet CM Punk at an autograph signing, and he basically makes it out to be like this really big deal for him. And it's like, yeah, that was the biggest day of his life, and it's kind of shitty of Punk to be like so dismissive about it. And he's like, he goes on to explain a bunch of other stuff about how basically when Punk quit on wrestling, so did MJF. That man was his hero. And so when he saw that Punk, the best in the world, couldn't like cut it, what were the odds that MJF, some short guy, some short Jewish kid, I mean, yeah, MJF's pretty short.
Is he? I don't know.
Steven, he's probably like shorter than me. I have to be honest. Yeah.
He's like jacked though, dude.
He is. He's pretty jacked. But the thing is, like, how can a kid like me, this kid getting quarters launched at him and like bullied on the football team, if CM Punk can't make it, the best in the world can't make it, how the hell am I supposed to? And so he stopped pursuing wrestling. Until like one day in college, he saw a photo of Punk and and Daniel Bryan shaking hands and blah 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 blah, and eventually got back into it. But basically saying that, Punk, you gave up on wrestling, and you know what? Like, I'm not here to be like, oh, I hate you for that. Ha, like, why'd you leave? You quitter. It's like, no, you let me down, and you let down thousands and thousands of other people just like me. I quit on my dreams because of you.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, it's
what is this promo?
I
This is
know.
insane.
it's absolutely insane. And
Uh-huh.
and so he's like, so and when we're in a dog collar match, when we have our dog collar match, at a Double or Nothing or Revolution, whatever the pay-per-view is, Punk, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to quit because that makes me as good as you. Okay, that puts me on your level, and I'm not a quitter. And so this is basically the promo.
Such like a face promo right here.
And then,
oh my god, dude.
and then
it's like 2012 John Cena promo.
CM Punk comes out and they don't do the music. Like they don't do anything. Like CM Punk like is like not storming to the ring, but like he's like speed walking to the ring. and
he's like, "Brrr."
and he like puts his arm, he puts his hands out to MJF. And he's like, is that true? But he's not on microphone or anything. He's just asking him, right? Is that true? And like you sort of hear him from like the camera mic, and MJF like sort of mouths to him, "It's true." And then he turns around and walks out of the ring. And that's the segment.
What the fuck?
I know. And then Steven,
That's so weird.
Steven, that's the segment. Then they cut to commentary where it's Tony Schiavone, JR, and Excalibur, and it's Tony Schiavone, and he's like, "I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of feel bad for the kid. Like, you know, ADHD is a real problem." ADHD?
Was that what he got from the promo?
And Tony's like, yeah,
ADHD, man.
I have some.
Gotta cure it.
My son, he struggles with ADHD too, and it's like, it's a very serious problem for kids these days.
What
And
is
it's like
autism speak kind of like thing right here?
MJF just went on a promo about how he was bullied for being Jewish, the most anti-Semitic stuff. He was assaulted for being Jewish in high school, quit on his dreams, all this kind of stuff. ADHD is very serious.
He's got. Yeah, I can't believe he's got ADHD.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh my god. But
That's insane.
minus
Gotta
Tony
find a cure for
Schiavone
this.
being fucking crazy. It was a great segment. Like MJF killed it. Like honestly.
Good for MJF. I don't know. Like I'm kind of mixed on him sometimes. Like sometimes the promos are really good, and sometimes just really lame.
I would agree wholeheartedly. Yeah. I assure you, this was a very good one. It was a very good one. Yeah.